Good evening. I'm Eileen Burke-Trent, President of the League of Women Voters of El Dorado County, and I would like to welcome all of the candidates to the El Dorado Union High School District Candidates Forum. The League of Women Voters was started in 1920 after women won the right to vote. However, for many years, our organization has been open to both men and women. And a little bit of historical context, if men had not voted for women to have the right to vote, we would still be protesting probably pretty aggressively. We are strong supporters of the election process and encourage citizens to exercise their constitutional right to vote. The League wants to encourage voters to both vote themselves and reach out to family members and friends to encourage them to vote. You can find all your voting information online at the El Dorado County League website at lwveldorado.org. And you can scan down to the Voter's Edge box and find all your relevant candidate and voting information right there. Tonight's candidate forum calls for adherence to the terms of civil discourse by both candidates and the public. The hallmark of democracy is the willingness of all members of our community to treat each other with courtesy and respect, not just the people we agree with. It is in that spirit that we are here this evening to engage in a vital part of our democratic process, a civilized discussion of the important issues that confront our schools and our communities. Again, I want to thank all the candidates and the audience for being here tonight. Our forum procedure is strict and fair and comes from over 100 years of our fair practice and integrity participating closely in the political process. We are nonpartisan. We demand open and respectful treatment of all candidates and of our forum process. Each candidate will have 2 minutes to introduce themselves and 2 minutes to close with their final statements, and 1 minute to answer questions that we have gotten via email and from attending audiences. They will be grouped along topic and be fairly rotated between the candidates. We do our best to represent the questions received. Many of our are of similar concern, and time constraints don't allow us to answer all questions received. So please don't be offended if your specific question is not asked. We have very limited time. Again, we welcome you and all candidates to this forum, and want to remind you the questions for the candidates you'll be hearing tonight are questions that have been received from the public, and they have not been made available to any of the before this evening. We hope the candidates and the other participants will find these questions to be challenging and enable voters to make an informed decision. And that is what the League is all about. Fair information, transparency, and giving everybody the opportunity to be equally heard. Tonight, we will begin our introductions with Jessica Rogers. Jessica, you will go first. You will have 2 minutes. And in the process, I know this is distracting, but I will be holding your 1 minute, your 30 seconds, your 15-second, and you better stop cards. So Jessica, please introduce yourself to the League and to our audience. Time starts now.
Well, thank you very much, Eileen. I'm hearing a back feed. I hope it's not just me, or hope it is just me. Hi, everybody. My name is Jessica Rogers. I am currently a board trustee on the El Dorado Union High School District seeking re-election. A little bit about myself. I am a graduate from this district. I graduated from Union Mine High School in 2009. And my time spent at Union Mine was very life-changing for me. I really enjoyed my experience being involved in marching band and some sports, but more importantly, I had some connections with some staff and some teachers that really believed in me and really turned me into the person who I am today. A little bit more about my history. I attended Folsom Lake College and then transferred to UC Davis and received a bachelor's degree in political science. And I immediately started working in education in the private sector. I worked for the California School Boards Association and then with some ed tech companies. So my life is education. And when an opportunity arose to serve my community as a school board member for the district that made me who I am, I had to jump on it. I live in Pollock Pines right now. I have a cute little 2-year-old son and a wonderful husband named Thomas. And really just enjoy right now. All right, 30 seconds. Thanks, Eileen. I'm really just enjoying being a mother and now kind of having a little bit more of a vested interest in our schools and what we're teaching children and what opportunities that we make available to them. So I'm really looking forward to answering all of the questions today. Thanks, Eileen.
And thank you, Jessica, very much. Timothy, it is now your turn to introduce yourself. We're looking forward to hearing from you.
Okay, thank you. My name's Tim Carey. I've been a school board member in this county for 32 years. I was on the Buckeye board for 12 years, and then I went over to the El Dorado Union High School District Board in 2002. I was appointed to both boards initially and then ran for re-election repeatedly in both districts. My greatest privilege as a board member has been, I started when my kids were my oldest was in 1st grade at Buckeye, and I got to graduate her from 8th grade at Buckeye, and I got to graduate her sister from 8th grade at Buckeye, and embrace them both on the stage, whether they liked it or not. And then I successfully applied for and was appointed to the high school board in 2002. And again, was able to hug both of my girls on the stage at their high school graduation. So that's been my #1 perk as a board member for 32 years. I really believe in public education. I grew up in public schools. I got a law degree at University of Virginia and came to California almost immediately. I'm an education lawyer, so I represent public school districts. So really education is my life, has been my life for 3 decades plus. I truly believe in public education, and I never get tired of doing this job. You would think I might, but it's infinitely challenging, particularly in the last couple of years. And the kids are really, really vivifying for board members. Our favorite meetings, like one we had at Independence, or when we meet students face to face for an hour, and they talk to us about how they feel and how they're doing and what they like and what they don't like. And we deeply take that to heart. So I truly believe that that I should be reelected, and that my fellow incumbent should be reelected, because I think we're doing a good job and we have a great, great school district. And that's it for now as an intro. Thank you very much.
Perfect timing. Couldn't have been better. And thank you very much. Next, we hear from Brooke Van Komen. Brooke, your 2 minutes begins now. We're looking forward to hearing from you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to address the League of Women Voters, as well as those participating in the Zoom tonight. As Eileen said, my name is Brooke Van Komen. I am the mother of 4 children, 3 of which are alumni of Oak Ridge High School, and 1 who is currently a junior at Oak Ridge High School. A little bit about me: I have a bachelor's degree in history with a minor in sociology. Our family has lived and participated in public education in 4 different states. which gives me a unique perspective being the parent and as an appointed school board member here in the El Dorado Union High School District. This past January, a vacancy came open on the El Dorado Union High School District Board, and I applied for the provisional appointment and received the appointment, which I was very honored to receive the appointment. Since then, I have dedicated my time to taking visits and spending time on each of the campuses. And like Jessica and Tim, I am very pleased with what I'm seeing on the campuses. We have incredible schools. I've also served as a site council member at Marina Village Middle School, and also of the Measure A. I was the co-chairperson of the Measure A bond in 2019. I appreciate the opportunity to address all of you tonight, and look forward to answering questions and appreciate those in attendance. Thank you.
Once again, perfect timing. Couldn't ask for better. Thank you so much, Brooke. Next up is German Sierra. German, we look forward to hearing from you, and your time starts now.
Good evening. My name is Herman Alejandro Sierra. I am happy to be here, excited and a little nervous. I want to thank the Women of League of Women Voters of El Dorado County for the opportunity. I want to thank everyone who's here today. And if there's any students in the audience, I want to say, way to go, getting involved in the process. Para las personas que hablan español, les quiero decir que necesito su voto. Bienvenidos. We're going to go ahead and continue here. So my personal side, I live in Cameron Park. I'm married to a beautiful woman who's also a registered nurse. I have two dogs, one named Luna, another one named Dexter, and I have two children. I've recently became a grandpa, and I have a gifted athlete who is a sophomore at Ponderosa. Very proud of all my children and my wife. On a professional level, I have an associate's degree in sciences with honors. I also have a bachelor's degree in fire service administration. I am a retired firefighter paramedic. I retired due to an injury. Then I immediately went into public service, working at the community college. I've been a department chair, program director, program coordinator. I created pathways from K-12 to K-14. For the people that might not know what that is when you start preparing children to go to college while they're still in high school. I have a lot of energy, as you can see, and I believe I bring a new perspective into this board. Change is always good for organizations, and it's always good to have new blood or new ideas in the board. Thank you again, and I'm gonna finish early.
Well, you did. You finished 5 seconds early. Hermano, I want to apologize because your name is very clearly written German, and but I understand the importance of correctly pronouncing names. And Hermano Sierra, thank you for correcting me. Lastly is Ray Nutting. Mr. Nutting, we're looking forward to hearing from you. How is your video? Could you say something so we can be sure to hear you?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you and we can see you. Congratulations. Your introduction starts now, sir.
Great. Well, I'm on the family homestead. We've been here for 5 generations, and I'm on my cell phone because my computer went down and it's not working properly. So you can see the evening is upon me. I have a Bachelor's of Arts degree from the California State University of Sacramento. I have a California teaching credential, and I did my student teaching at Gold Oak School under Rich Luna, and at El Dorado High School under Claire Dushek. She was teaching advanced placement, and I took pride in working under her for 6 months, and along with Rich Luna, went on to take over the German department for El Dorado the high school, Mrs. Lawrence had a surgery and she needed me to fill in. I'm fluent in German, and I'm married with 4 boys, and I coached at El Dorado High School for many, many years, took the team to a championship, also taught in every high school and middle school over the years. As a member of the Board of Supervisors, I started with the ground floor on getting the bond put together for Union Mine High School, and we need to build a high school on the Latrobe site in El Dorado Hills. Also, I'm very, very concerned about the changes that are occurring with the state of California and Gavin Newsom. I can't see how much time you'd have to tell me. So,
Oh, sorry, we've got about 20 seconds.
okay, sure. I am real excited about volunteering as a school board member. It's going to be a labor of love if I get elected, and I would be a wonderful contributor with the knowledge that I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and you finished with 1 second to spare, Ray, so good job. Good job. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, these are the first of the questions you have. We usually have about time to ask 9 to 10 questions. You will have 1 minute to respond. And these questions are varied, and as I mentioned before, they come from our listening audience over the past several months and the newspaper via email directly to the league. So they're varied and they are quite interesting. So I will hold up the 30-second sign because you just have 1 minute, 30-second, the 15-second, and the stop signs. And Ray, if you cannot see these signs at all.
No, I can't.
Can you see me?
I can see you.
Okay, so what I'll do for you, Ray, is I'll raise my hand when you have 30 seconds, and Ray has disappeared. And I will raise my hand again when you have 15 seconds, and I will raise my whole hand when you need to stop, okay? And we have lost Ray completely. So hopefully we will get him back. First question, and that is for Timothy Carey. Timothy, what is the most challenging issue the school district faces, and what do you think the solution is? The most challenging issue.
The most challenging issue that we face, like so many districts across our country, is recovering from the effects of the pandemic. I think we've done that much better than almost all of the districts that I'm aware of, and I am general counsel for a number of school districts, so I'm aware of a lot of what's happening. We have developed tremendous mental health resources to help us recover from the pandemic. We have developed individualized attention to students at risk. We've done a lot of good things. We were one of the first districts to come back to in-person instruction, and we've really emphasized keeping track of our kids and not losing any kids in the cracks. I'm not saying it's not a major challenge, it really is, but I think this current board and our administration, our teachers, more importantly, our students and parents are doing a marvelous job of bouncing back, and it almost feels normal these days. And the kids tell us that too, that they feel great about what's happening. So that's our major challenge.
Thank you very much for that answer. Next will be Brooke Van Komen. Brooke, would you like me to repeat the question?
If you would, please, that would be great.
Yes. What is the most challenging issue the school district faces, and what do you think the solution is? Your time begins now.
Thank you. I agree with Mr. Carey that one of our greatest challenges right now is understanding the loss of instruction that took place during the pandemic. But I'm going to add to that because educating and working with the whole student, we have also emphasized our wellness centers on all of the campuses to further examine what has been lost and what we need to do to invest. this week at the school board meeting, we had the opportunity to hear from Sierra Child and Family Services, who has partnered with El Dorado Union High School District to help us meet the emotional needs of our students. So by combining the focus on loss of instruction and the need for wellness, attention on campus are the #1 concerns. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much, Brooke. Hermano Sierra, would you like me to repeat the question?
No, I got it. Thank you. Let me know.
Now,
I think one of the most challenging items in the district is money. The state of our facility needs to be updated. I was looking at the LCAP, which is the Local Control Accountability Plan. The way that high schools are going to be funded has drastically changed. I feel like I was having this conversation 5 years ago, because that happened to the community colleges where I work. So we need to make sure that we meet some matrix and we utilize our money using data-driven solutions. We can't just not be throwing money at everything. So I'm fiscally responsible, and I think my skill set, particularly with increasing completion rates to all the students and academic excellence, is a no-brainer. Thank you.
well, thank you, Hermano. Ray Nutting, you have 1 minute, and again, at the 30-second mark, I will raise one hand at one finger. At the 15-second mark, I will raise 2 fingers, and at stop, I will raise my hand. Is that clear? You need to unmute yourself, Ray.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you. Okay. All right. Would you like me to repeat the question, sir?
No, I have it.
Okay,
I've got it.
begin.
By far, the #1 problem facing all schools in California is the policies and procedures that are mostly derived out of the Los Angeles and San Francisco areas of our state. They're draconian in nature, and they dictate policy that just doesn't work in rural and conservative counties. I'm real concerned because it is getting worse with each election cycle, and I don't know if what works in Los Angeles and San Francisco may not work in El Dorado County. And I know we're bound by laws, but to do everything possible to influence the state legislature is real important, and our schools are going to suffer if we don't change at the state and local levels.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Nutting. Jessica Rogers, you go last. Would you like me to repeat the question?
No, thank you.
Okay,
So I'm just going to preface with, this is a really challenging question to answer because there are so many things that are important, but I
oh wait,
think-
there are more challenging questions for you.
Great. I think one of the most challenging issues which we are working on today at our district is ensuring that every student on our campus feels connected to an adult, that they have somebody that they can go to when they are experiencing a challenge at home, in a class, in a sport, or anything else. We have found that the pandemic really damaged those relationships and those feelings of connectedness with students. And we know, as I experienced myself, I had a really strong connection with a teacher that allowed me to succeed and have confidence in myself. And so that is something that we are focused on already at our district, and it's not going to change overnight, but it is something that I believe is very important and we must continue doing.
Excellent. Thank you so very much. Okay, the next question. Let's see. Got to keep myself organized here. This segues pretty much with the first question we asked you. And the first person to go on this one will be Brooke Van Komen. And the question is, what do you see is the most important responsibility of your position as a school board member. Begin.
Thank you. As a provisional school board member seeking election this campaign cycle, I believe that our connection to the will of the people of El Dorado County is the #1 priority and need. In the time that I've had as a school board member, as well as a parent volunteer for the last 12 years here in this district, having the connection and knowing what the desires are of the people that we serve. For example, we have been very vigilant in making sure that the people of El Dorado County know that we will listen to them when curriculum decisions come up. We are working very diligently to not adopt what LA and what the Bay Area are dictating as curriculum.
Thank you very much. Next, Hermano Sierra. Do you need me to repeat the question?
No, I got it. Thank you. I think the most important priority or responsibility as a board member is the student. I believe in that so much so that, look, it's right behind me. No, this way. There it is. So a student first is what it says behind me. And I believe that this is not about Newsom. This is not about McClintock. It's not even about us. It's about the students. So I believe that the main thing is to be able to represent the students. The students don't have a voice. Parents have a limited voice. So we should be an outlet to represent everybody. So there's 3 types of students, right? There's students that are exceeding, there's students that are meeting the curriculum, and there's students that are not meeting the curriculum. We got to make sure that we meet all those students' needs and the parents' needs as well in a balanced manner. So thank you.
Thank you. 7 seconds to spare. Okay, great. Ray Nothing, you are next. Would you like me to repeat the question?
No.
You may begin.
The most important job of a trustee on the school board would be to have command of the agenda, be prepared for the agenda, make every meeting, participate in committees, and make sure that you're up to date with all information. Coupled with all of those responsibilities, bring forth public concern as an outreach, as an elected official to the board meetings, and to make sure you reflect the values of the citizens of this conservative county.
Thank you, Mr. Nutting. Appreciate that. And for those of you who are joining us, Mr. Nutting cannot see the timing cards. So therefore, I'm holding up my fingers as signatures for him. So he can participate in our timing structure. Next question. And the first person to answer this question will be, oh no, Jessica.
Can I ask
and
a
Timothy.
question?
Still,
Are we not?
Nope, sorry, Jessica and Timothy, we still have yours. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
What do you see? And the person that will answer this one next is Jessica Rogers. Jessica, what do you see as the most important responsibility of your position as a school board member? Begin now.
I think one of our most important responsibilities is to ensure that when children are leaving our district, that they are prepared for the next chapter in their life. And how we do that as board members is to make sure that we are ensuring the district is fiscally responsible with the funding that we're getting and allocating those resources appropriately, that we are setting policies and implementing programs that allow students to get ahead and prepare for college or get training in a trade or career training pathways if they don't want to go to college when they graduate. And that's really it, actually, is making sure that kids are prepared.
Oh, well, thank you very much for that. And the last person to answer this particular question is Mr. Timothy Gary. Would you like me to repeat it, Mr. Carey?
Sure.
Okay. What do you see as the most important responsibility of your position as a school board member? Begin now.
In tacking off what Mr. Nutting said, I do think it's important to be prepared for a meeting, but I've been to far more than 1,000 school board meetings in my career. And so I'm well prepared because I have a font of knowledge that I can rely on and experience. But all of that doesn't matter if you don't care about each kid. And that's what I think is our most important responsibility, is to care about each kid. We've implemented that in the time I've been on this board. We've revolutionized our approach to at-risk students. We've added an ag program at Union Mine. We've expanded our advanced placement to thousands of additional students. And we've expanded our CTE program. So we have 47 to 48 different courses in CTE. So we have kids prepared at all levels, from going to elite universities to going straight out of school and getting a job, as my favorite was a cowboy from the FFA program at Ponderosa. Thank you.
Singing cowboy or just a regular?
He didn't
cowboy?
say singing cowboys, so, but maybe, because Pondo has an excellent music program too, so
That's
probably a singing cowboy.
Okay. Next question, and the person who will start us off is Hermano Sierra. And Mr. Sierra, test scores have suffered statewide. How would you go about improving our students' scores? You may begin now.
I think it's important to keep things in context. I don't know, I really don't know if the members of the board, I'm sure they heard some of the universities, I'm not even taking SAT tests anymore as a way to get into school. So someone like me that comes in with a lot of experience, there's ways to improve tests. One of them is to hire competent certified teachers. The second one is make sure that we devote time. Ponderosa has implemented something called flex time, and that seems to be really helpful for the students. So it's a combination of having the right personnel, but also the right facilities. Our facilities are outdated, they're old, they need to be replacements, they need a smart.
Oh, sorry, wrong one, 15 seconds. Please keep going.
Like I said, our facilities need to have improvement, and I know Brooke did a wonderful job with Measure A. Unfortunately, that didn't pass, but we need to find a way to update the technology. We need to give the educators the tools in order to educate our students and to be competitive. We're not competitive right now with schools in the Bay Area, whether we like to hear that or not, even in the Central Valley. So that's something that I think we need to hear. Thank you.
And again, please accept my apologies. I'm trying to keep my cards in order here. Thank you very much. The question goes next to Mr. Ray Nutting. Would you like me to repeat the question? You need to unmute yourself, Mr. Nutting. Mr. Nutting, you're still muted.
Can you hear me?
Now I can. Test scores have suffered statewide. How would you go about improving our students' scores? Begin now.
The role of a board member or a trustee is to have command of the agenda and be an extension of the public. We have dedicated parents and dedicated teachers, and we need to provide them with the parents with the information, and teachers furthering their education, giving them opportunities to learn more, budgeting for those learning opportunities, and making sure that we hear from the staff as to how we as a board can improve their ability to deliver curriculum to improve test scores. And by the way, in rural areas of California, our test scores are pretty good parents seem to be very much involved with their students, their kids. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nutting. The next person to answer this question is Jessica Rogers. Jessica, do you need me to repeat the question?
No, thank you.
Okay, begin now.
So our district is aware that not every student is performing well on tests. And while I don't love that that's the measurement of gaining knowledge, it is what it is. And so we have implemented many things this year as we're recovering from the pandemic, including flex hours, where we're giving students an opportunity to receive more one-on-one individualized tutoring and learning from their teacher or from a peer to allow them to really learn the content that they're supposed to be learning in their class. We also are working on what we call PLCs, professional learning communities, to bring more unity across our district on what we believe students should learn in each subject. And it's been a really exciting process to be a part of. And as the board, it's because of our vision as to why this is taking place already at our district.
Thank you so much for that answer. Next will be Timothy Carey. Do you need me to repeat the question, Mr. Carey?
I do not. Thank you. So I think the first answer to this is we focus on every student. And if you focus on every student and their individual needs, you're going to alleviate test scores in a very, very complete way. One of the ideas that our board came up with that I was very instrumental in implementing was, rather than waiting until the end of the semester when a student has failed, we intervene continuously. We started out with in between semester and in between session remediation sessions in which students literally can bring their grade up and get a new grade, not the old grade, because they did well. Then we turn that into basically daily, constant interventions to help a student rather than struggle the whole semester. That's so you get test scores up. You improve learning. You don't just improve how to take a test, you improve student learning one kid at a time. And we really have we have student study teams that look at each kid who's struggling and say, what can we do to support that kid? Those are board-driven initiatives. So I think that's important.
Thank you, Mr. Good. Thank you very much. Next, Brooke Van Komen. Do you need me to repeat the question?
No, thank you. First of all, I appreciate everyone's comments and ideas, and this is fantastic collaboration, which is one of the things that is a pillar in my campaign and also as a school board member. One of the things that I'm most impressed with that the El Dorado Union High School District has done is to reach across district lines and talk to the elementary school and middle school districts, because we are finding that incoming freshmen in the areas of math and reading and science, that they are already behind. And so as a school board district, we are already reaching out and trying to collaborate with other districts and other teachers in this county to make sure that when kids get to our district, that their test scores are where they need to be so that we can launch them into a successful high school experience. And I find that that collaboration will be effective. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I just have to figure out how to turn this off. Ta-da! Oh, nope. There.
Blessings and curses of technology.
Well, I told you I'm doing the work of 4 people, and and it could be going much worse. I'll tell you, if you had been with the first forum, it was like, how do I stop this? Thank you guys for your patience. Let's see, we've all answered that question, haven't we?
Yes.
Okay, we are going to ask the last question now, prior to your 2-minute summary. And it is a hot seat question. Do you feel your seats warming up yet? Here it goes. And the first person to answer this question will be Mr. Nutting. There are 10 required vaccinations to enter kindergarten. Do you think the new COVID vaccination for children should be added to this list? And Mr. Nutting, you are first. Mr. Nutting, you are muted. I'm going to cancel the
Okay,
time.
are you done? I mean, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Your time starts now.
So the question is, vaccination, is that going to be mandated by the state for the schools, or what is the exact question?
The question is, there are 10 I'm going to pause this, cancel this again, okay? I'm going to read this again because it is a tough one and it is a hot seat question and a hot button question.
Sure.
There are 10 required vaccinations to enter kindergarten. Do you think the new COVID vaccination for children should be added to the list? And your time starts now.
Well, I believe that I got vaccinated. I wanted to be with my sister. She has stage 4 cancer. And so I felt for her health that I would be respectful, and I got the set of vaccines for that. No, I don't agree that we should force our kids and take another layer of responsibility away from parents to mandate everyone be vaccinated. Simply wrong. I don't think our country was built on that foundation, and I don't think it rises to the level of, say, polio or other vaccines that are proven necessary.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Nutting. The next person to be asked this question will be Jessica Rogers. Do you need me to repeat the question, Jessica?
No, thank you. Boy, is my seat is on fire right now.
I told you.
I myself am vaccinated, and I'm not ashamed to say that. I too, my sister-in-law was diagnosed with breast cancer the day I gave birth to my son, and in 2020, and I really wanted to keep everyone in my family safe. I think that I support parents' choice, and I think that, down the road with more research, maybe it should be something that should be added. But to me, I feel at the present moment that I support people being able to determine on their own for their specific family and their situation what they want to do. And I myself will continue to get boosted and support my choice to do that.
Well, thank you very much. The next person to be asked this question will be Timothy Carey. Timothy, do you need me to repeat the question?
Go ahead.
Okay. There are 10 required vaccinations to enter kindergarten. Do you think the new COVID vaccination for children should be added to the list?
I think it's premature to add it to the list at this point because of the community needing to get better education and acceptance of the COVID vaccination. I am the only senior citizen on the board, and I'm vaccinated as much as you can be, though I haven't got my new one, my bivalent. I've got an 86-year-old mother and an 89-year-old mother-in-law, so I don't take chances with getting them sick from COVID, and one already got it. So, but I do think that the day may come when we need to add that. I don't think it's that different in nature from some of these diseases. And we've seen as vaccination rates went down, particularly for measles, which we'd practically eradicated, you now see it as a major health problem in the United States. And pregnant women get measles and their baby dies. So I think we need to take these things seriously, but I do think we need to get past the world of the emergency use authorization before we consider making those mandatory vaccines.
Thank you very much. Thank you indeed. The next person to be asked this is Brooke Van Komen. Brooke, do you need the question repeated?
No, thank you. I appreciate everyone's comments. I do agree that more research is needed before this vaccination is included on any list for children. With all of the issues that we've seen throughout COVID, The science has changed, and it's changed very regularly. The more research that's been done, the more testing that's been done. I don't think that we should subject our youngest and healthiest populations to a mandatory vaccination. And yes, each family, each parent should have the opportunity that if they choose to vaccinate their family, like I did, I'm vaccinated, as are all of my children, because of circumstances and choices that we made as a family. But I think that should be parents' choices. And until we have more research and better case studies, I think it should be a choice. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And finally, Hermano Sierra. Do you need me to repeat the question?
No, thank you, Eileen. I believe that in not only parents' choice, but people's choice, but I also believe in science. So this is a really hard question for me. I'll tell you this, our hands are tied. Well, it doesn't matter what I think, it doesn't matter what the board thinks. The CDC, Center for Disease Control, hands down a decision, it goes to the County Department of Public Health, and that's where mandates are enacted. As a board member, one of the things that I will do, of course, I will listen, but I don't believe that it should be made mandatory at this time. I think research still out. I am vaccinated, all my family is vaccinated. So I don't, I believe in a person's choice to have their children, the most precious possession, whether they're vaccinated or not. However, our hands are tied because that decision comes way above our head. All we can do is do our best. Thank you.
Thank you. That was the last question. It was a hot seat question. How are you all feeling?
Well, that's a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
I will tell you, that was nowhere near as hot seat as spending 3 hours at each board meeting for the last 2 years.
That's great. Listen, we're running a little lengthy. You have 2 minutes for closure. Are you uncomfortable with 1 minute, or would you like to go for 2 minutes?
1 minute will be fine.
Everybody, Brooke?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Hermano? You're okay? Jessica? Tim?
Sure.
Okay, I want to thank you. We wanted to get that hot seat question in for you. So let's start with our closure. And Jessica, you will be going first for 1 minute. We're looking forward to hearing what every single one of you has to say.
Well, thank you, Eileen. You know, when I was appointed to this board in 2019, I was not a mom yet, and COVID hadn't happened. And what I have learned in these 3 years is that we as parents will do anything for our children, and mine will someday be attending this district. And if I'm reelected, you know, I want to focus on making sure that the programs we offer for our students are better than they are today, are better than they were when I graduated 13 years ago. But I also believe and want to focus on rebuilding trust with our community and with our parents, and finding opportunities to get more involvement from the community, but in a productive way. We all need to be productive. We all need to work together. And I believe that I will be able to be a player in making that happen as we have new challenges come to us down in the road, because there's never a dull moment in education. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, Jessica. Timothy Carey, you are next.
Okay. I have a 32-year record of caring about the kids in this county, each and every one of them. Have a track record of being innovative, creative, keeping a sense of humor no matter what. All my board members that I've served with, and that's dozens of people, would attest to that. I've been friends with Republicans, Democrats, independents, and anybody else by any stripe. I don't agree with Mr. Sierra that everything change is always good. We have a very stable board. As a school board attorney, I know that a foundation for school district success is stable boards. Get an unstable board, get a board that doesn't work harmoniously together, and you start losing student success. But again, my focus is care about every kid. We have a duty to try to help. and to educate, no matter what the rule, what the adversity is. We never give up on a kid. And that's the heart of what I believe as a board member. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Carey. Brooke Van Komen.
Thank you. I know that as a school board member that I can bring balance and an unbiased voice to this El Dorado Union High School District School Board. I am focused on unity and collaboration and connection in our educational endeavors. We owe it to our kids to help build their confidence as they go through our school district. And I believe that we are on the right track. We are focused on good instruction, good education, good opportunities, and focused on each individual student and making sure that we're representing the values and morals of this county that we have come to treasure and that my family personally was so attracted to when we moved here to this county, and feel so privileged that our children have been educated by the great schools and incredible teachers in this district. Thank you.
Thank you, Brooke. Thank you very much. Hermano Sierra.
First of all, I want to take a couple of seconds to thank you, Eileen, for moderating this forum, and I want to thank everybody for being here today. I see a couple of names that have been here the entire time. Yeah. I believe I have a unique skill set. Education changes. 30 years, 20 years is a long time to be doing anything. I think organizations need new ideas, fresh ideas, and innovation. I come from a place where we were able to increase the number of degrees given 25% and the number of certificates given 500%. But the bottom line is this: you don't know what you don't know. I know because I'm a professional educator. I've been a program director, and I've been in the trenches with the student success. So when we talked about increasing state score, it's even better to increase the outcome, which is graduation rate. So things like that, that a person would not normally know, I know. I need your vote. Thank you.
Well, I want to thank each and every one of you for your time this evening. The League of Women Voters would also like to thank you for your dedication and your time. We understand the commitment that you have made to run for public office. It is a big commitment, and we are very, very grateful. Ray, did I miss you?
I think he got missed. Yeah.
Oh, Ray, forgive me. Please forgive me. Yes, your closing statement.
He's entitled to his 1 minute of fame.
Ray, please go ahead. I'm so sorry.
Hey, Tim, I don't need that 1 minute. I got lots of minutes of chat. Quite frankly, I've heard a lot tonight about, knowing the kids and caring and all of that. But the bottom line is you've got to attend the meetings. You have to be prepared with the agenda items. You have to have backup information. You need to support all staff at all levels and your administrators. You need to have connection with the material and a cognition with the public's ideas and hopes and dreams for their kids and our schools. And being a board member is lots of hard work, and it's a volunteer job. I have the time now to invest as a volunteer, and I look forward to the citizens of the county supporting me. I ask you for your vote. I will not let you down in the study and the delivery of what you guys want.
Mr. Nutting, thank you so much, and thank you for your understanding. I got a little bit ahead of myself on the cards here.
That's all right. My biggest challenge here is I have my horse that wants to walk up and lick me because I'm outside.
Well, it's the salt on your face, I'm sure, and the sweetness of your heart.
Thank you for putting up with me. It's tough when your computer goes down and you got to work on the phone.
It's okay. We work hard to accommodate as best we can. Wanted to mention once again, the League has been doing this for over 100 years, and we understand the dedication and the time that you are taking out of your life to run for public office. We laud you on that effort on your part. We know it takes enormous amount of time. The other thing is I would like everyone listening and the candidates to go to lwveldorado.org to both support the league, to join the league. We welcome men as well as women, as I mentioned to you. And you can scan down to the Voters Edge and get your information online. Thousands of voters in California rely on Voters Edge for their candidate information. Thank you once again. We ran a little bit over time, and so I'm going to have to end the forum now, even though I'm sure we would all like to spend time talking to you. I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters of El Dorado County. Every single member participated in putting on this forum tonight. So once again, thank you, candidates, and thank you, listeners. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night, guys. Lots of
night.
fun.